Welcome to Worldcraft Logistics TV. My name is JimmyTran. I run a warehouse business and a trucking business, logistics as well. Here we have is Vu. Hi Vu, thank you for joining us today.
Hello everyone, my name is Vu and I am the owner of a shipping company, Metta Shipping, born and licensed MBOCC.
Can you tell us what you do, what you're specializing in?
Right, so we specialize in food and beverage. The majority of our customers in the portfolio are Boba stores throughout the US. We probably have a little bit more than or close to 200 different Boba stores.
Wow. So in this video, we're going to talk about, what the title of the video is how to import Boba or where to get your Boba supply. So tell me, if I were to start out, like, how do I get supplier? How do I contact all this franchise company? Start with that.
Yeah, okay. We currently working with all of the biggest franchisor as far as in the Boba industry. You name it a Boba company or franchisor, chances are they our customer. So I have contact information for all of them. If anybody interested, just shoot us an email, send us a text. We are more than happy to share the contact with you guys.
And then how about if I want to do my private label, can I also contact you?
Of course, I also have been dealing with a lot of wholesalers overseas and in the US, already have supply in the US, yes. So if you decide that you want to do your own concept or your private label, we also can make the introduction for overseas manufacturer or the US wholesaler for you guys as well.
How about the rules and stuff like that? Like I'm here because I want to learn about how to import Boba. You know all the rules and stuff like that to help me out, right? If I were to use you.
Right. So I think one of the key components before anybody decide to do private label or even to go with a franchisor is the importer yourself, right? You guys have to understand the rule and the regulation. What are the requirements to be the importer? What are the requirements to be a manufacturer overseas? Because obviously you are dealing with food and beverage for human consumption. There are more than just US Customs as a government agency that you need to deal with. Specifically FDA, Food Drug Administration, and also USDA as well. So you have to really understand that there are certain rules and regulations you need to abide by the rule. Otherwise, if you don't get that, it will be a lot of problem in the road in the future if you want to bring supply in.
And then I could come to you and then I could ask questions about this as well and how to register because your company been doing Bobas for so long.
Yes, of course, yeah. So we help importer register for, before you get to that point when you bring it in, you have to register yourself. What I loosely call is open a profile as an importer with US government agency, right? There are steps involved in there. Specifically, the first one is you need to obtain your DUNS number. Without the DUNS number, you can't bring any food or any beverage into the US.
Okay.
You need to apply for your DUNS number first. And then when you have your physical store location, it is highly recommended for you to register with the FDA.
Got it.
Right. And then if you want to dive deeper into it, if you're bringing in milk product, then you also need USDA permit as well. These are facts. Right? Don't let any other shipping company out there that might not have any knowledge about it tell you otherwise, right? These are facts. These is just like you and I paying tax. Like you have to have these.
Okay.
Other than that, you will be on the blacklist of US Customs, and it's really a big headache if you don't have that.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. So if I had to start my store, how to import Boba and stuff, I could go to you. You have the supplier for private label, and if I want to do a franchise, you also have contact, right?
Yes,
okay.
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have supplier, I have manufacturer overseas, I have wholesale supply in the US. I also have contact information for all of the bigger brand for the franchisor in the US as well.
What is some of the brand?
Ding Tea specifically, probably in sheer size and store, Ding Tea probably the biggest one, right?
Okay.
And then I also work with Share Tea. I also work with R&B. And then, a few other smaller, such as I used to work with the Boba, and then a bunch of other smaller brands as well. Yeah.
And then finally, shipping, we could go to you as well.
Yeah, I mean, we typically provide door-to-door service. I want them to spend all their time and effort just to build a store. The rest of it, that's what I come in.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about how I ship this, how I ship that. Just worry about how many stores you are going to open in a few months.
Got it.
Right? How much money you're gonna bring in from that store.
Yeah.
The rest of the supply or getting the manufacturer, documentation, delivery. This is what Metta Shipping come in for.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So let's start with number one. Sourcing the supplier. What do I need to look in a supplier? What do they need for me to start buying from them?
Yeah, this is excellent question, Miller. One of the most crucial step that anybody can take is to verify your manufacturer.
Okay.
Right. Let's say you already sorted out. Okay, you want to sell boba, you want to make drink, and then there are specific drink. We're talking about private label at this point, right? So you know a specific drink that you want to make that require a certain material or raw material from overseas.
Okay.
You need to ask that manufacturer that you found online whether they are FDA registered or if they have all of the documentation for USDA.
Got it. Okay.
Don't let them tell you otherwise, okay?
Okay.
If they are not FDA registered, and if they don't have all of the heat treatment, they don't have the veterinary certificate for that particular government overseas, that verify that the process, the step to make milk product is legitimate or up to rule and regulation, then do not deal with them because you will run into your shipment get held by U.S. Customs or government agency, and all of the exam costs will be on you. Not the manufacturer, not the shipper, but on the importer responsibility.
And the product also get destroyed.
So at that point, you can either have to destroy the product, and you can destroy the product yourself.
Yeah.
You have to hire a company that specializes in destroying products.
Yes, that's right.
They destroy it. You pay them a fee to destroy your products. Then they will give you the receipt to give to U.S. Customs to release you.
Yes.
Or you have to export the whole shipment back to where it came from.
Okay.
And all costs is on you.
Okay.
So that you need to verify them, right? If no FDA, no USDA, go to somebody else.
Okay. So that's the seller side, the manufacturing side, right?
Correct.
On that side, right? So let's talk about importing. Like I'm buying boba for the first time, right? Or milk product, right? What do I need as an importer on my side, on the US side?
Right. So in order for you to do that, like I mentioned earlier, right, you must have a DUNS number.
Okay.
This is something you can do on your own. You could easily go to Dun & Bradstreet, get a DUNS number for yourself, or search for the number. If you can't do it, let me know. I'm more than happy to take care of that for you.
And our email will be below for you to contact.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we have an onboarding step where we provide a service for no charge for our customer to get the DUN. Without a DUN, you can't import food and beverage into the US. Okay, that's a rule.
Okay.
Okay. So now after you get a DUN, FDA also highly recommend you to register your storefront with FDA website.
Got it.
Reason being is because you are bringing food into human consumption for U.S. citizens, right?
Yes.
They need to backtrack and they need to understand where did these supply come from.
Okay.
Right. So at any given time, they have the right to show up in front of your store and want to see paperwork.
So what happened if I'm in the process of buying? I haven't opened my store yet. What address do I use?
Then you can either register the FDA, so you could register LLC address with the FDA.
Oh, so like your home address.
Right, so whatever the LLC to start out. And
Yeah.
then after that, you need to update your FDA profile.
Okay.
You know what, I just signed a lease. This is the physical store. You need to let them know where they will see the supply.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of other stuff involved in that process just to make sure FDA, the only thing they do in this is they can either educate you on what you need to do, or they want to make sure that your supply is safe for U.S. consumption,
Okay,
or human
got it.
consumption. Yeah.
So, if I don't want to go to that all the drama of first searching for a supplier and then make sure they have like the FDA and the document, I can always contact you and just
Correct.
like, here's the list.
Correct.
All right.
Or you can just give me a list. I have several wholesalers that already went through this process.
Okay.
They already went through the headache. Right, to be the importer, they bring in fresh supply from Japan, Vietnam, Taiwan. You can buy directly from them.
Okay.
I can make that introduction, whatever it is that you need. So basically, I have wholesaler that can supply for the entire store. So right now, if you want to open a boba store,
Yeah, I want to open a store.
I have wholesaler that can supply you everything.
Cool.
Sealer machine, equipment, Boba supply, golden Boba, like everything that you need to start out for a Boba supply, I have it all.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have wholesaler for
okay.
that.
Okay, so that's number one. Number one, we know where to source now. We could go to you or we could source it ourselves. Reliable source, right?
Correct.
All right. So number two, I know that. So there's two ways to open a Boba store or any type of store, right? You could go private label, which means like I just open my own store. I start out from ground zero. And then number two is I could go through a franchise like Dinty. Tell me about that because you help so many people open store.
Right. So before you get all of that supplying, right, you got to figure out, do I want to do my own private label, or is it worth it for me to sign a franchise agreement with a franchisor? There are benefits from both sides. There's downfall from both sides, right?
Yeah.
So let's start with the private label first,
Yes.
okay? What you need to do is, well, obviously you have to source the manufacturer yourself.
Which I could go to you.
Yes, you need to, of course,
Yeah.
right? But you still have to make sure that particular manufacturer give you the supply that you like for your formula, for your own drink.
Okay.
Okay, just because their supply is legitimate, right? Like vet and everything, that doesn't mean their taste would be like how you want it to taste, right? Because you need to come up with your formula, the way you make the certain drink. You have to like it. You can contact the manufacturer overseas, and then you can ask them to send you sample.
Yeah. Oh.
Send
Okay.
you- send
this
more-
I'm talking about like Taiwan, right?
Yeah.
Boba come from Taiwan.
Yeah. For the majority of the supply, the syrup, the tea, the boba, and most of the stuff are from Taiwan because that's the birthplace for boba.
Yes. Okay.
There are a gazillion manufacturers in Taiwan that can provide sample for you. Right?
Oh.
So bring in sample first, see if those sample actually work for your drink. Right? You come up with your formula, make it worth it, and then you can proceed to the next step. If not, then you keep going down the list for the manufacturer.
Got it. Okay.
Right? So I think that's very important for you to do your own private label. Is the freedom to do whatever the drink you like.
Got it.
Anything you want to add on the menu, you can come up with it. You feel strongly confident enough, you do it.
Okay.
Right? You don't have to ask for any permission.
Yes.
Right? The downside of it is that you have to put in your time and effort for that R&D, research and development, to develop that drink, to make sure people like it, and then it takes time to build up your brand.
Okay.
On the flip side, you go with a franchisor. You don't have to worry about verify all the manufacturer because the franchisor already have that taken care for you.
Got it. Okay.
Right? You just need to be able to have the paperwork to be the importer. However, there's guideline and rule you have to follow. You can't just add your own drink on it.
Yes.
You have to ask for permission.
Yes.
Most of the time they will shoot it down.
Yes.
Like you can't just make up Jimmy BV tea, milk tea, and then put up the menu. They won't allow you.
Okay. They won't allow. Okay.
Right? Because they already put out their R&D, research and development to develop the brand.
Yes.
Everybody, most of the US, the people that drink tea, they know R&B, they know drink tea, they know share tea, blah blah,
Okay.
right? So they already put in the work. So that's the downside of it. That you lose a lot of the freedom.
Okay. So now let's go through a franchise, right? If I go through a franchise, do I still need to import by myself? Do I still need to import them in, or can I just buy wholesale here?
Excellent question, brother. So you can actually choose different franchise. Some of them you have to bring your own stuff in. You have to be the importer.
Got it.
A few of them have US headquarters where you don't have to worry about all of that paperwork to be an importer.
Yes.
You can buy from them directly within the US.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you just need to understand and do your homework. Okay, if I go with franchise A, what do they have? What will they offer you? If I go with franchise B, what are the downfall and the money? Because every franchise have a franchise agreement. That means you have to pay a certain fee for them.
Okay.
Some will have a 3-year franchise agreement, some have the 5-year franchise agreement, right? So
okay.
you just have to do your own homework.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the benefit of franchise is I start out faster, but I just follow the rules.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
They already build everything for you.
okay. Got
They
it.
have the brand, they have the brand recognition, they have the drink, they already have the supply, they did all that for you. You just follow the guideline, follow the rule,
Yes.
and run your store successfully.
Got it. Okay.
On the other side, private label, you basically build up everything.
You do yourself. Okay.
Yeah, you build up from scratch.
Okay.
But we are here. I don't mean to scare anybody who want to do private label. I have already have a formula for every private label or whatever the private label you would like to start. We can help you. We can coach you, we can guide you, we can consult with you, the manufacturer and the location and how to start and what need to do. Because we've been doing this for 6-7 years now, and I have seen a lot of franchise going through, the F and L and the up and down and all that
Got
stuff.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now number 3, shipping, right? It's one, for me, if I open the store for the first time, it's one of the concerns. I can't buy like a full container full of boba. My store probably can't fit everything. So how does shipping work if I'm just gonna buy like a few pallets? How do you help me with shipping?
Right. So one of the things is boba drink, right? Very, very seasonal. Okay. So one of the key components that an owner needs to understand is just because your bestseller at this month is strawberry milk tea, that doesn't mean 2 or 3 months from now the strawberry milk tea still be a hot item, right? So you have to do your inventory correctly. And in order for you to do that, you will not need to buy a whole container every single time. Okay, because a whole container can basically bring in 16,000 kilograms worth of supply or more. And in terms of volume, that's about 25 to 33 cubic meter worth of volume, which is a lot of volume.
Yeah, it's a lot of volume.
Right, you need a professional warehouse, you need inventory system, you need all that. So oftentimes my customer only need to bring in 2 pallet worth of supply.
Yeah, that's right.
One of the advantages that the system that we came up with to help is that if you only need to do 2 pallets, we have other customer in our group because we have close to 200 different stores in the US, different regions in the US.
Yes, that's right.
We can group them together.
Yes.
Right? So say for SoCal right now, all the different brands.
Yes.
Each of these brands have 2 or 3 pallets. I can combine the whole group of SoCal to book the whole container to share.
Oh, I see.
And that's how you'd be able to save a lot in terms of shipping costs. So then we would bring the container into a third-party warehouse, professional warehouse like Worldcraft Logistics warehouse. And then this is where Worldcraft Logistics come in.
Yes.
Right? Their team would design it, palletize it individual store, and then we deliver to individual customer.
Yes.
And that's how they're able to save a lot of money.
Yes. So one of the benefits of combining shipping with all the food product together is, the thing is, this container is all boba stuff, food stuff, right? That's the benefit of it. Because if you were to go to another shipping company that have LCL shipment, it might be a pallet of food, might be a pallet of like machinery, it might be a pallet of clothes. So it's not right. So if you work with Vu here, it's gonna be all boba stuff, all food stuff, all restaurant supply stuff coming from Taiwan. So it's gonna be like a clean food container versus like a mixed container of like used engine and all this kind of stuff out there, right?
Yeah. So elaborate on that point, right? If they ship less than container load, they can't control who are the other customer that share the container with them.
That's right.
And one of the thing about that, one of the disadvantages is because it's a mixed commodity in a container, such as used machinery, food and beverage, and then clothing and furniture and all that stuff. It raises the probability of that container being examined by U.S. Customs.
Yes, but going with you, it's just all food
It's
stuff.
all food and beverage.
And you also, I'm guessing, you also like filter all those customers already.
Of course. So when, let's just say one of my customer that sell green tea supply or whatnot, I need the supply. I don't just reach out to my other customer that do furniture. I specifically only reach out to the customer that bring in the same type of supply, which is the tea, the syrup, and boba and beverage. And I combine that on the container only.
So number 4, like, do you do consulting, helping people? Like, do you charge? Like, how does it work?
I do. I don't charge, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Which I should charge, because sometimes I can spend an hour, 2 hours on the phone with somebody that have an idea of opening a boba store. It's not that complicated, but it's not that easy to open a boba store. That's it. You're not gonna do it with anybody else.
Yes.
Now, because of the food and beverage, USDA, US Customs, and USDA, FDA, so there are other things involved. So sometimes, I have seen this a lot, right? My customer already signed a contract with a particular franchisor. Have no idea that she will need to be the importer. Have no idea that she need to apply for this, apply for that, and have this, right? And then by the time it comes, the container gets stuck at a port of Long Beach. Going through inspection.
We rather like we both do logistics. We rather just help you and like guide you first.
At the beginning.
At the beginning, it's actually saved us so much time because in the end, the cleanup part is
oh my God! Yeah, you imagine
months.
imagine a container stuck at the port for 3 weeks already, right? All fee, all exam related is on the importer responsibility.
Yeah, that's right.
This customer called me and it's been 3 weeks and the bill is already like $5,000 ish in terms of exam.
Yeah.
And the container is the carrier is saying the container going GO because nobody pulling it out.
Yeah.
Nobody knows anything. So I rather if you have an idea that you want to open a Boba store, come to us.
Yes.
Talk to us, right? I spend 2-3 hours going through all of the information that we provide to you first before you make the decision. Before you sign anything.
We rather that just spend 2 hours with you versus spend 3 weeks cleaning up.
Yeah, a lot of money and a lot of effort involved in the cleanup process, especially if you want to import or if you want to do a Boba.
Yeah.
Right? More government agency involved, more headache, more rule, more regulation. You need to understand. Yeah.
So that's what we have for this first video. We're gonna make more video about. So this first video is how to import in Boba or how to start your store. So.
Thank you for listening. If you have any question or concern, feel free to send us information via the email addresses below or just let us know.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.